Welcome to the Nevis Newscast for Friday, June 14th, 2019. I'm Donis Wilkinson Keynes. The official launch of Nevis Culturama 45 began this afternoon with a mini cultural street parade through the streets of Charlestown. Masquerades clowns with string band music and participants of various competitions, as well as troops, paraded through the streets of the capital, where onlookers lining the streets got a chance to interact with them. The parade ended at the Charlestown waterfront, where an official launch ceremony took place, followed by the opening of the senior Kaiso tents. Events on the pre-calendar of activities for Culturama 45 include the launch of Center Base, the Core Juve Long Jam Troop launch, Tango 2 Culturama 45 Sunset Cruise, Nevis Theatre Guild Dramatic Arts and Cultural Festival, Old Fashioned Tea Meeting, and Folk Fest. The grand opening of Culturama 45 will take place on Thursday, July 25th at the Nevis Cultural Village, immediately followed by the P-Chicks Junior Kaiser Contest. The Mr. and Miss Talented Youth Pageant is slated for Sunday, July 28th. The Miss Culture Swimsuit and Mystical Contest will take place on Tuesday, July 30th. The Groovy and Power Soca Monarch Finals on Thursday, August 1st. The Senior Kaiser Contest on Saturday, August 3rd, and Sunday, August 4th will be the SL Hosford's Miss Culture Queen Pageant. Culturama 45 celebrated with the slogan Love, Passion, Pride. Culturama 45 will conclude on Tuesday, August 6th with the Grand Cultural Street Parade. Patrice Nesbitt II and Tikwane Morton of the Charlestown Secondary School, Destiny Lowe of the Gingerland Secondary School, and Jaden Doe of the Nevis International Secondary School are the students who have been selected to represent Nevis at the 15th Regional Youth Parliamentary Debate on July 17th in Trinidad and Tobago. The announcement came from Myra Williams, the Secretary of the Nevis Island branch of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association. From a field of 10, the 4 youth parliamentarians were selected by a panel of 2 judges at the final parliamentary debate trial on June 6th at the Nevis Island Assembly Chambers at Hamilton House. The topic was securing our borders to mitigate the effects of crime whilst striving to meet our humanitarian obligations.
Madam President, I am very sympathetic to the situation confronting the people of Venezuela. But, however, that does not mean that when they flee, we should simply open the floodgates and welcome all and sundry. Venezuela is a country with over 32 million people. In comparison, Trinidad, its nearest Caribbean neighbor and the largest island in our archipelago, has a population of just over 1 million persons. Yet, it already struggles immensely with crime and other social ills. Could you imagine then the chaos and anarchy which would unfold if Trinidad were to simply relax its border controls and yield to a massive influx of Venezuelans?
In the past, and most recently in 2018, there were news releases where a number of personnel that are employed to secure our borders are the ones that are actually corrupting the system. The evidence, Madam President, has been made to the public. What are we coming to, Madam President? We have the trustworthiness, dependability, patriotism, dedication, and loyalty gone to. Come on, this is Nevis. And I also speak for our brothers and sisters in the region. We all have to do better. The government needs to go back to the drawing board and look at ways they can vaporize these acts.
Honorable President, most of our states in the region do not have land borders, but our sister state, Guyana, has such borders between Brazil and Venezuela. Presently, many illegal immigrants, drug traffickers, and other criminals are crossing these borders, making it more and more difficult for an already troublesome situation in Guyana. Surely, unless the land border security is strengthened urgently, then Guyana will be overrun with these illegal immigrants, drug traffickers, and criminals.
In the age of building walls, Madam President, exorbitant tariffs, and exiting the European Union through the now infamous Brexit, with its many consequences, we as a region need a more calculated approach to securing our borders. Madam President, as a government, we are faced with a myriad of challenges that must be overcome in the fight to create the type of secured borders that enable our citizens to live in their homes without fear.
The 15th Regional Youth Parliamentary Debate will be a part of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association's 44th Conference from July 12th to 19th. The following is a notice from the Ministry of Social Development regarding a meeting for Craddock Road residents. All residents of Craddock Road and surrounding areas are invited to attend a meeting where they can share their views and opinions on poverty with representatives of the Department of Statistics and the Department of Social Services. The exercise is part of the ongoing country poverty assessment, which is currently being undertaken. The meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, June 18th at the Church of God of Prophecy, Craddock Road. The following is a notice from the Office of the Premier. The public is advised of a town hall meeting to be held at 7:15 p.m. on Monday, June 17th at the St. Paul's Anglican Church Hall. Monday's town hall meeting will be the first in a series under the caption Conversations with the People, facilitated by the Nevis Island Administration. Still to come.
I think you all know, because I've said and the public knows, that we look forward to a visa waiver for all of our nationals.
We'll give you the details after this break.
Jump up, free up, bet up, no standing up. Love, passion, pride, culture, rama, party, fight, yeah. Music, folklore, pageants, and so much more. Love, passion, pride, culture, rama, party, fight.
Join us from July 25th to August 6th for the Caribbean's greatest summer line. It's Culturama 45.
Love, passion, pride, Culturama 45. Love, passion, pride, Culturama 45. Love, passion, pride, Culturama 45. Yeah. Love, passion, pride, Culturama 45.
Welcome back. As the Honorable Mark Brantley bade farewell to High Commissioner of India, His Excellency Mahalingam, the Premier noted that India and St. Kitts and Nevis enjoy a very good relationship. Premier Brantley, who is also St. Kitts and Nevis's Minister of Foreign Affairs, expressed the hope of deepening the relationship so the nationals of both countries can continue to benefit.
I know it's not easy to travel from Guyana to St. Kitts and Nevis as you've done, but I think we have some signature programs that you've introduced, yoga, for example, that you've introduced and introduced us to, and the continued cooperation that we've enjoyed. Under your tenure since you've been here, we have removed all visa restrictions on Indian nationals traveling to St. Kitts and Nevis as a gesture on our part, an indication that we want more people-to-people contact with the government and people of India. And we thank you for your role in removing visa restrictions in terms of our diplomatic and official passports. I think you all know, because I've said and the public knows, that we look forward to a visa waiver for all of our nationals, so that our two peoples can have more ease of travel between our two countries.
The High Commissioner noted that India and St. Kitts and Nevis have enjoyed very close and cordial relations during the last 5 years.
And particularly under your leadership, we have taken the bilateral relations between India and St. Kitts and Nevis to a higher level. Almost in every forum, every international nominations where we have requested St. Kitts and Nevis, we have been able to get your support. And particularly, I would like to mention that when we nominated Justice Dalveer Bhandari for the post of judge in the International Court of Justice, and you have been very kind to provide your support, though our opponent candidate was from Britain. And that is really a high point in the relation between St. Kitts and Nevis and India.
He also had this to say.
We have been able to achieve quite a few things, and one of them is the signing of the agreement to exempt visa for the diplomatic and official passport holders. Based on the requirement that based on the request that has been forwarded from the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, we are working on the exempting visa for the ordinary passport holders, and we will get back to you as soon as we hear from government of India.
His Excellency Mahalingam, who is based in Guyana, is concurrently the High Commissioner of India to Antigua and Barbuda and St. Kitts and Nevis, the Ambassador of India to CARICOM, and Consul General of India to Anguilla. He will finish his tour of duty in the Caribbean on June 30th, 2019. The St. Kitts and Nevis Department of Marine Resources is collaborating with Reef Check, an international foundation which helps to preserve the ocean and reefs. Reef Check has been surveying reefs in St. Kitts and Nevis for the past 14 years. This is according to Coordinator of Reef Check in St. Kitts, Nevis and Montserrat, James Hewlett. Following an exercise to collect data on Wednesday, June 12th, Hewlett spoke about his observations over the years.
And what we're finding is that it's pretty similar anywhere you go. It's a slow decline, so it's not a good picture of reef health, but it's so in trends, the things that you start to see are, larger fish that you're not seeing anymore. The amount of coral on the bottom is less each year. But in the last 2 years, we've seen a little bit of a rebound with a few sites that we looked at in terms of more coral. And also the urchin population has really bounced back and right now is very healthy.
Hewlett also spoke about the importance and the purpose of the data collection.
We're here to just get a picture of reef health, and all that data we then turn over to people who can then actually use it for making management decisions or for decisions about what types of protections they might be thinking about. So we are just sort of providing the data. So when groups contact us and saying that they're looking to do some habitat mapping, we give them all the data and they can just use it as they need to.
We have many students that come down. It's important for them to see what the reefs are like, give them an opportunity to collect that data that really no one's ever collected before. Jim has said this many times, every piece of data that these students collect, no one's ever collected that data before. And that kind of just goes into the big picture of overall reef health, and students are actually contributing to, in a way, saving the planet, helping ministries like yours ultimately make decisions.
Darren Matone, Professor of Biology at Muskegon Community College, has been assisting Hewlett for the past 4 years. The pair was interviewed by Teresa Griot, Habitat Monitoring Officer for the Department of Marine Resources. That's it for this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, thank you for viewing. Have an enjoyable weekend. I'm Donis Wilkinson Keynes.